Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Man, that was really loud, wasn't it? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you coming back, checking out this episode of World of Tanks. We have Type VIIC, not VICC, but VIIC in his Type 64, Tier 6 Chinese light tank on Province. And he's going to show me a bush that I was aware of the bush, but I was not aware of its usefulness. This is going to be very interesting. So let's watch where he goes. I think it's already being telegraphed a bit here. And we'll talk a little bit about his gameplay because he's going to make one big mistake. But let's take a look at this bush because this is very interesting. Check that out. So look what he has done. He's come down here. Not many people go to this place. One problem with this place potentially is enemy light tanks like to come down and cross over here and light people up who are camping up above along this edge. Especially over here by this building, and start lighting up all these guys who will sit up back here in the back. So you will have to watch for that. And of course, once you're seen, you're completely exposed. Look at this guy. What's the T50-2 doing? But he's getting all these lights. And the really nice one is he is able to light up, especially if they fire, the TDs and tanks that like to camp along the top right here. This bush is a good bush, but if they fire from here, he's probably going to see him. Now watch him facilitate the complete farming of one each TOG 2. Poor Gaming Ninja 117 is about to have a very, very bad day. Everyone and their mother is shooting at him. He has zero camo, and we are absolutely farming both the assist and the poor TOG. Looks like the 50-2 season battle. The 50-2 has done what I was just talking about on this side, at least from the green side, attempting to get up underneath and farm those guys, but he's getting shot. Gets absolutely obliterated. And that's a nice job. So he has good SA that the 34-100, the E25, and the T50-2 have come across. Probably nobody else because he didn't see him. The TOG now dies, and he's up to 817. And then the JP shows up there. Now, one thing I would say about this, and I think really, you really want to be here, basically right here, vice here. Also, I might have tried to wiggle into this bush a little more. You might have been able to actually cover this tank up completely. Either come up here and get into this rock and maybe protect myself from being seen from this direction, because if somebody comes driving up or gets to the edge, they're going to see you. You're just too exposed. You might have been able to fully get into the bush. I don't know. Potentially, you did have a little wiggle room to the side here. You obviously don't want to come through this side of it, so it was going to be kind of tricky. You might have been able to punch up or push up against this rock and avoid being seen, because that's what's going to happen. We're first going to farm this poor JP. The Su-100M is seen crossing over on that side. Looks like he's pushing down. And that's the other thing. That bush right there, is where people on the other side like to camp out. The problem with it, and I've noted it in other videos, is there's that V, and this Firefly is completely exposed to you seeing him every time he tries to come forward to use the bush. So he's seen, the 100 is seen, he crosses across the open area, and down goes the Firefly. And that's why I like that spot, but it's not nearly as good. It's not nearly as good as the spot. And is the M44 sitting? No, the M44 is up top. There's another bush. You can't see it. It's right, I want to say it's right here, so it's up above here, where you can shoot them as they're coming up the ramp. And that bush is not nearly as exposed as this one is on their side. So we're going to kind of see what's going on here. The Black Prince, now we got the JP again. And if you hear things clunking around, that's the dog who's decided it's time to play with their toy. JP's doing his thing. And this is what I was talking about, the danger of being spotted. I thought you shot, but you didn't. And there you go. It would be nice to know how you were spotted. I really believe it was probably this 34-100. Just got a line of sight through this little crease right here. Or potentially the E25 maybe moved around, but I don't know how he would have got behind you without you seeing him. But someone up here more than likely got a view of you, and you didn't fire, so yeah, that's my assumption, somebody up here. That's why I said maybe tuck up into this rock, might have protected you, or try to bury yourself into these bushes a little bit better. But what a great little bush right there. You got 2,181 spotting out of it, and the problem is now he's got nowhere to go. Another thing you can do right there in a bush like that is plan your escape route, spin your tank around, and when you're seen, you can just bail straight out. You don't have to do that whole turnaround thing. So another thing you can do right there. We're just trying to get out of being killed. Thank goodness the Black Prince did not hit us, otherwise that JPZ would have finished us off. Actually hit us, but thank goodness he didn't do any damage. And now we're just turtling up, and we're susceptible to splash damage. I'm a little bit surprised the M44s didn't drop a few more in on you. That's right, you're doing the right thing. You want to turtle up until you're dark. 10 seconds, 12 if you want to make sure that you don't telegraph any kind of movement. And you might have been able to move out into the bush, but it looks like you're going to go forward to that one, so that's good. Not a bad idea just to take a quick peek and see if you light. Somehow somebody got real close. But we'll come up here, and now we see the T-29 moving across. They've kind of roughed up your push over there on the east side. 100-01's attempting to come around the back. He's probably not long for this world. That's a very exposed position to campers. Look at all the guys all sitting together up on. Holy cow. Your whole team is all in one spot right there. So we're going to bail out of the bottom. I think that's the right idea, especially if your team over there loses and it looks like it's in the process of it. I don't know if you had a shot. No, it doesn't look like you had a shot yet. You probably do want to keep moving, because if you fire, you're going to lose some camo, and you are still a little bit close. Get up into the tree there, not a bad idea. And finally, your team does something for the poor 34-1. It evens it up, taking 3 down and losing only 1. You guys have some of your best tanks, so all of a sudden the T-29 gets spotted. Nice job trying to track him. Unfortunately, it just goes into his side, but good hit. Let's see if we can kill this guy off, and down he goes. Some more spotting, and we're up to 3,000. Fantastic. 34-1 is holding there. The E-25 is still unheard from. You know the JPZ is probably camping back. That was the direction you got hit from. There's another TOG, amazingly, has not been seen. Unsure how a TOG lasts that long in the game without being seen, unless he simply just went behind a building and sat there. That's pretty amazing. I would agree with this. It doesn't look like any of those campers are going to do anything but sit. All of a sudden, the E-25 makes his appearance known. Let us see if you actually had a shot on that guy. No, not yet, not yet. Looks like you're looking for one. Yeah, coming around. I would have looked. Yep, there you go. So look into that bush. See if you can. There he is. Always good to hit one of those. That was a miss. And he's done some work. It looks like he lost another tank or so up there. King Tiger is dead. There's a Dicker Max as well. Those will be dangerous. Anything's going to one-shot you at this point at 93 hit points. 34-1 is taking a little move up there. And there's the T-50-2. And we're going to take a look here. No binocs to cook off, so we're just going to take a quick peek. And all of a sudden the TOG makes his appearance known. There he is. I agree with this. Let's reposition. Go farm some TOG. Looks like you were thinking about going to that bush and then decided to move down a little bit closer. Unfortunately, the 34-1's getting hammered, but you find the TOG out in the open right here. Yeah, I would have let that zoom in all the way. You really need to make these shots count. And that's what you're doing now. Look at that, he bounced one. Poor TOG. That's the end of the TOG. But you lost your 34-1, and you probably, this is correct, you do probably need to pull back. I might have gone up on the hill and tried to take some down, but we'll see how it works out for you. Don't run into dead enemy tanks. If for some reason that guy's still around and happens to be looking at his tank, he can give SA to the enemy. It's a small chance of that happening, but just in case. I'm going to go back across. There's the E-25. You find him down below, and you get spotted, and that is a bummer. All you can do is try to turtle up, but you got him spotted for damage, and that's a good thing. People are hammering him. And I like this right here. Let's go and make sure this guy gets done if we can. You know where he is, so let's not let something that sneaky and fast get too far away if we can help it. But looks like he may have disengaged or turtled up. And this is the nut cutting time right here. We're down to the wire. We got to figure out how to win this. We got a scout up there on our side. We got an E-25 somewhere down the middle, last seen. Yeah, use these bushes to kind of move forward, see if you can't find that guy. Nothing going on. No help from your various TDs who are probably just going to stay where they are. Dicker Max is going to have a hard time pushing. The JPZ is relatively fast. So you've got three pretty fast tanks, the JPZ, the 52, and the E25. And most of your guys are fatties, sedentary kind of guys are going to sit in one place. You're the only real mobility your team has. The 122-44 can get around, but he's going to have trouble. He's going to have trouble fighting some of those faster tanks. And it looks like the 50-2 has moved up. Now, when something like that happens, that makes me feel like he's got backup, right? He may be just trying to spot for his tanks up on the ridge, but maybe he's also got some guys following him. The good news about the Scorpion and the Excalibur, the Scorpion and the Excalibur both have kind of turrets, so they're not as ungainly as just a pure casemate. I actually like that. I thought that was fantastic right there. That was a great move. And the third person thing, man, I'd have zoomed in and made that count. Definitely wanted to zoom in and make that count, but you take that guy down, you kind of drew him in, got a little more assist at 3,691, so that was a good job right there. And now we got to figure out where these guys are. Like I say, Excalibur's all of a sudden driving down. So you really need to pick one. Either go clear, you have 6 minutes, so either come up here and look for spots or go back up to where they are and try to clear this and see if there's anything. The other option is you may surprise them by coming out here. If this is clear, looking across this way, again, you might catch them out. Potentially go back to the bush you were at, down in the middle. See if you can't find them. Sounds like artillery's firing, so I don't know if they know something or they're just taking some blind shots. I come up this way. Got some backup, that's always a good thing. So you got some weird little ping things going on right there. A little herky-jerky. Packet loss going on. Excalibur peels off and heads up the road. And that's unfortunate. Really, if you were together, that'd be a lot better. You can set up crossfires, but at this point in the game, I think being together is a little bit better until you have a better idea of where the enemy tanks are. So their M44 looks like hit the Su-122-44. So I don't know what that means. Does that mean he's spotted? It would have been better if he'd have said if he was spotted or not. And there's an M44. He may have been sitting in a bush and saw the 122 moving down. So they got an M44 out front doing some spotting. These guys should be able to clean him up. There we go. 122. And there's the Dicker. Oh, man, that is a bummer. I expected you to die right there. I'm very surprised he didn't get a shot on you. You do want to cover up on the M44. You got a lot of options. Oh, man, that was close. That's interesting, actually. That means he's probably... Well, that may have been a shot coming from the JPZ. If that was an artillery shot, I'm not 100% sure. That means the other M44 is up in this area somewhere as well. And that's very possible. Especially if he felt exposed sitting up here. Nice job. Might have been an option there to potentially get a 15-meter separation from the bush and maybe shoot him without being spotted. Excalibur comes in on him. And had you been up there closer in support, you might have got that shot on that guy much earlier. Now, if you did, is he going to drive out in the open? Probably need to move over to that other bush. Your Su-122-44 is doing battle. Takes down the JPZ-4. So I think when you shot that Excalibur, or that Dicker Max, if you'd have turtled up here, you would have risked maybe getting splashed a little bit, but this fight was going on as well, so I think that M44 was pretty busy. And then when you saw the Excalibur moving up, that's when you've got your crossfire. But by disengaging, the Excalibur went in there alone and had trouble. And unfortunately, this guy's just going to stay. I don't know what his plan was right there, because he's never going to see you first coming around from that bush. A nice job, man. 947 damage, 3,691. Not sure if you could have hidden in that bush and not get spotted, but at some point you were going to have to move out of that bush. And from there, doing a pretty good job. A little bit reactionary as far as reacting to what they're doing as opposed to pushing and making it happen yourself. But it was a nice job when you were actually reacting what you were doing. I really like the move on the E25. That was pretty good right there. I would have zoomed in to make sure I shot him so that that shot went in. You could not really afford to miss because he fires so fast. All right, guys, that's all I've got. Thanks for tuning in. Good game there. Type VIIC, and we will see you.